Captain Black, Hostage Who Fights Back. Today's topic, Menace or Nuisance. Black male self-definition never ceases to surprise me. And sadly, it's unsurprising that we have defined ourselves, and by we I mean those who choose to, obviously, to define ourselves down to two very basic and unappealing categories: nuisance and menace. The nuisance brother is an individual who, by his very behavior and lack of couth, disqualifies him from civilized contact in previous black communities. But sadly, because our definition has been so defined by popular culture, he can actually find himself on the center stage, a position for which he is manifestly unfit to occupy. His crass behavior, his loudness, his embarrassing ignorance drives the community standards ever lower. In most cases, however, he is at least not a homicidal maniac. That dire distinction belongs to the other category, the menacing brother. He's the one whose handiwork is seen in national statistics, on the evening news, and for those of you who have ever been crime victims or had to confront him professionally as urban safeties like myself or advocates, you know that he brings one thing and only one thing: destruction. His inflated ego, unlike that of the nuisance brother, is validated by harming people. We see this harm again in homicide, aggravated assault, carjackings, armed robberies, aggravated burglaries, you name it. His collateral damage is he fills our homes, our nurseries, and struggling inner city school systems with children whom he will never take care of, and who themselves are on the fast track to becoming menaces. In the 21st century, with roughly 50 years of state-mandated freedom to undo centuries of state-mandated injustice, we have to ask ourselves, can we allow popular media and the weakest and most dangerous links among us to define black men ever downward? A group whose only human capital product, on public display at least, are nuisances and menaces, is a group which relegates itself to the ash bin of history. We have really two choices: prevention, with massive mentoring, rehabilitation, deprogramming, spiritual counseling, hypnosis, whatever means that you feel are necessary, and protection. I'm a member of the protection wing of the black community, so for me, the protection option is most natural. Guarding ourselves culturally and literally against the nuisance brother and against the menace brother is a very logical choice. We mobilized against the Klan, we mobilized against racist police in generations past and, some would say, present. So I'm hard-pressed to explain why more black men who aren't nuisances, who aren't menaces, aren't mobilizing against these two groups. We suffer. Our standard, our excellence, our peace of mind, and our survivability are supremely negatively impacted by these groups. So I think one of the great questions for black men in the 21st century will be, how do we deal with the nuisances and menaces in our midst?